Don't cry cause it ain't gon' rain every day. Don't despair cause it ain't your way. Keep it real, make the best out of any situation that you come across. Some lose, some lost, I'ma shake it off and get back to what I'm really about. Give the crowd something to feel me while you scream.
So excited. So
and you'll have to forgive, I'm going to say me, because we have like the camera, we have the phone, we have the computer. So I'm just trying to like get the groove. So he's a professional. He'll have it. He'll look at the right place, but
yeah. So work with us. This is our first live episode. We're excited about this. Hopefully, if it goes well, we continue to do more live episodes. But we missed you all.
So much.
Thank you so much for the consistent support that you all give us on a daily basis. Well, a shout out to our Instagram family. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure that you like this video on YouTube. Subscribe to our Facebook page if you're watching us on Instagram. We see you all. Make sure that you all those things.
We see y'all coming in. We see y'all coming in.
Yes.
Hey, thank y'all so much.
So how have you been?
I've been doing well.
Good.
Yeah, like
good.
I cannot complain.
Yeah.
This has been Monday. Today was a good day. It was time to reset, refocus. Yesterday, I reset, refocus, and had new goals and had a new mindset on what I wanted this week to be. Cool. And so far, Monday hasn't disappointed.
Good.
How do you feel?
I feel good. I've just been thinking about this podcast episode so much.
You've been working, y'all. Listen, shout out to Joe of the Joe Nessa podcast. He has been putting in so much work, making sure we have the equipment, making sure that we're ready, like testing things out. Like he is the real deal. So thank you so much because you really have put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this. And I'm really thankful for all of the work you've been doing.
Well, I can't do it without you.
Well, you've been doing a great job.
You're just the best.
Oh,
you're inspiration. I see you work so hard, so it makes me want to work hard.
You've been working so hard.
I just thank you so much for your just endless support and just always having my back. And always just telling me,
you can do it. You can do it. Like, listen, he is a talented man, so you can do it. I believe in you.
Thank you. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
But we are back.
We're back, and we are going to. Consistency is key, and we know that we love you all. We love what we do, and so we are going to be consistent. Breaks are necessary to recharge and refocus and come up with a new game plan. Yeah. But listen, this is season 3. Y'all, season 3, which is crazy.
It is.
And if we think about it, in August, it'll be 2 years.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
In August, it'll be 2 years. So this is something that we're passionate about. We're driven. We're focused. So we just want to be able to share with you all on a consistent basis and, take breaks when necessary.
Yes.
But not long breaks.
Yes. Yes. So, we are on our 9th year going to our 10th year marriage. And I can say that
10 years in September.
Yes, 10 years in September. Things have just changed so much since we've been married.
Yeah.
As far as I think relationships are not looked as favorably as they did when we were young and dating and engaged and married. There's so much has changed. Mm-hmm. And tonight's episode, we're going to talk about the modern day relationship. Mm-hmm. Subtitle is 2 Still Better Than 1. So before we get started, once again, make sure that you thumbs up this video, follow us on Instagram at The Joe Nessa Podcast, subscribe to our Facebook page,
The Joe Nessa Podcast.
Yes, you all know all that good stuff. Yeah. So
you wouldn't be here.
In my opinion, I think that we're like currently in the height of what I call the relationship economy.
Okay.
And what I mean by that, I think we're seeing so many discussions being talked and had about relationships and what a man should do, what a woman should do. We're seeing that because it's big business.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I mean, you follow the money, and it's crazy. I was on Netflix the other day, and in the top 10 list, like the majority of the top 10 shows had something to do with relationships. And we watched one of the shows, which together during your spring break, The Ultimatum.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Then you have the one where
Love is Blind.
Love is Blind, and there's a third one too, Marriage at First Sight.
Oh, but is that's on?
That's not. It's on Netflix now.
Okay,
but yeah, it's not a Netflix original. So it's like you've seen all these shows talking about relationships.
Yeah.
And, you know, laid underneath all this relationship talk, in my opinion, there's like a gender war going on too. You know, discussions about high value men and strong independent women.
Yes.
That's what you hear all the time. So let's start the conversation off like this.
Okay.
Will you classify our relationship as more modern or more traditional? And why do you think that's so?
Okay. I think I'm going to have to classify it as more modern.
Okay.
Because I feel, in my opinion, like a traditional relationship, like the woman would be the first one home, doing like all the cooking, all the cleaning, all of that. And I feel like our relationship is more modern because while I do like majority of the cleaning, you do the cooking.
Yeah.
Also, like we have a modern day relationship because we really try to work together, and our expectations is that we both try to do the job of having a family and having this family community, and we don't just try to put it off on one person. Like, I'm not solely dependent on you to bring all of the money home. You're not solely dependent on me to like make sure I'm doing all the cooking and cleaning. Like, we really do try to have a joint effort in our relationship. So I think I would view our relationship as more modern than traditional. Now, I do say we have some traditional aspects about our relationship. I'm not just going to sit up here and try to,
elaborate on that.
I think that like when it comes to like thinking about the child and making sure that he is taken care of and has all the things he needs in regards to like school, his clothes, doctor's appointments and things like that, I would have to say it's more traditional where, it's my responsibility to take care of those things. Also, it's more traditional in our relationship with you. You do the yard work, make sure the grass is cut, like you're pulling those weeds and doing things like that. You bring the garbage around. So I do think that we do have some traditional aspects of our marriage, but we do lean towards more of a modern day marriage.
Yeah.
What do you think, Joe?
No, I most definitely think that we have a modern day relationship, modern day marriage, and you know that I'm not a non-traditional person at all, and you're not a non. Yeah. And I don't believe in, I wore this shirt on purpose so I can kind of be like, no pun intended, but I don't believe in just because I'm a male, and we're going to get more deep into this conversation, that I necessarily have to be in charge of the quote unquote male aspects of a marriage. We are equal partners. You are 100%, I'm 100% in. We have duties that we do, and sometimes they just happen to fall under those gender norms. But make no mistake about it, if you had to step in because like I'm sick or something's going on, you know how to do it. Yeah. And like it would be crazy for me to come home, and I get home before my wife does. If you've been following the show, you know how our schedules work. And you get home and I'm sitting on the couch chilling, watching TV, and I'm like, okay, honey, get started on dinner. That's never been my mindset at all. So I appreciate the fact that, yes, we have a modern relationship. We do have some traditional things, but I think that's just by circumstance. I don't think that's by design, in my opinion.
Okay.
You think that's by design? Of course, like I enjoy doing yard work.
Yes.
Cutting the grass.
Yes. And
that really goes into the fact that I don't even want to say that because I don't want to act like women can't cut the grass because women can do lawn care too.
Yeah, women can do lawn care.
That's just something like I enjoy doing. I was taught to do it.
Yeah.
So if you were taught to do it and did it better than me, I think the way our relationship is set up, you will be the one doing it.
Yes. Like it's just like when you said that, okay, well, there's some things I want to like kind of carry on and elaborate on. So when you're in a relationship, not just a marriage, but when you are in a partnership with someone, if you're dating someone, I like that you said 100% and 100%.
Yes.
I know a lot of times we hear the cliche of 50-50 relationship, but how can you really be able to pour into another person if you're not 100% yourself? And there's days where we're 99. Okay, let's be honest, or 78. But you know, being able to be more than 50% is important. So I like that you brought that up. And even just thinking about not necessarily sticking to the roles of something. Well, like, yeah, I do majority of the cleaning. Like, nobody can do these floors like you do these floors. Like, he can shine up these wood floors. So I'm like, okay, Joe, you do it better than me. So you can do it. Like, I'm okay with that. And I think it's also being vulnerable with your partner. And so not being too much of on a high horse, like, okay, yes, I enjoy cleaning, but if you do something better than me and we're going to get the same result or even better result, you can't be too much of on a high horse to say, okay, you need to do it because that's your strength. And so I do think it's important in a partnership and a relationship to play off each other's strengths because it helps you to keep that momentum going in a relationship.
I agree.
Yeah.
So romantic relationships, I think, are still desired and sought after. However, there are arguments being made that long-term monogamous commitments may be outdated or even risky if you have achieved, individual success. Like you making a lot of money, you got this big home, you quote unquote have a lot to lose. It may look, you may think that, I don't want to put all this in jeopardy. So some people have that mindset. Women and men are both waiting, or having children and starting families at an older age. So are we simply experiencing the natural evolution of the long-term romantic relationship? Or is this purely a confirmation of how extremely selfish both men and women have become? Like, we have difficulties, getting along and playing with each other. We're like that kid that doesn't know how to share toys. So that's why we're seeing this. I mean, let me start this off by saying this. I think technology has made it to where women now have the opportunity to be on a level playing field with men. And this is going to sound controversial. I think that we're now at a point in the world today that women no longer need men. And men are having a hard time accepting that. I think women, having a husband or a male in the home has now has gone from a need to a want. I mean, this isn't the 1500s anymore. This isn't the 1950s. Like, in the Stone Age or whatever, like our great grandparents, our ancestors.
Me brought you food.
Yeah, the men had to go out and hunt.
no worries. Hey, Darrell. We see people on the Facebook Live. This is cool.
We're back. I
Okay.
apologize about that.
Sorry,
I don't know
guys.
what happened, but like I said, this is new and we are learning on the fly, but we're having a good time. This is
Yes.
fun. So definitely more live streams in the future.
Okay,
Most
so
definitely. So like
you were
I was
saying we're
saying,
not going back.
I think men are struggling with the fact that women no longer need them. And I believe that men are bringing up these talking points because they want things to go back to like it was, but we're not going back. The technology is the great equalizer to all things. So we're just going to have to get used to the fact that we're going to have to you're going to have to step up a little bit more.
Mhm.
And speaking for myself, I'll prefer to be wanted more than needed. I want you to want me. I don't want you to need me. I want to earn my. I want to earn my spot. I want to earn my. Spot in your life. I think to be wanted and to be desired. That's something about that that's different than being needed. I mean, I just don't. I don't agree with that, and I think a lot of men are having a hard time coming to grips with that. And let's not take it to. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. And because now it just kind of just popped into my head. Now it's not just enough to like make a lot of money.
Correct.
Like it's not just enough. Oh, I can just throw this at you.
Yes.
Now you have to be emotionally intelligent and you have to be able to really connect with me and feed my intellect. Okay. Also feed my spirit. Like women, like, and just people like you want more because of social media and because of technology, you see what else there is that can happen in your life and what there is to offer. And so you're not just going to settle for something that's just like, what and simple,
Exactly.
like, because now okay, I know that if I wanted this, I can get a little bit more. And so now you're going to have to up your game because having a great job just isn't enough anymore. You have to have more than just some money. You have to go with that.
Yes, I completely agree.
And
shout out to all the women that are doing big things. I mean, I love for the fact I just don't want to be with any type of woman. I want to be with a woman that's striving to go to the same heights and places that I'm striving to get to. And I think that's why one of the many dozens of reasons why we do so well in our relationship is because we kind of motivate each other.
Yeah, I like that.
Look at the steps that we take.
That.
Like, I get a promotion, and it makes you want to get a promotion. And but we're not competing. We're encouraging each other to become the absolute best versions of ourselves. Like, you want to be with a partner who's going to push you. I don't want to be with someone who is completely relying on me to do everything, and they're just at the house chilling. But because I feel like I'm being a man and have some type of control, that's satisfying.
But if you want to, but
if
you are at the home, like thinking about like a modern day relationship, like if you are a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad or or husband or wife, like you still feel like, okay, I got to be on my game, like, because Pinterest is out there now. So your house, like if you are staying at home, your house just can't be looking all crazy anymore because now your significant other is going to know, like, hey, this can be a standard. So like this is what you're working towards. So it's not just like if you're at the house, like it's now people know when you know better, you do better. Shout out to Maya Angelou. So therefore I'm going to have to start stepping up my game because knowledge is out there and it's readily available for people to reach out and get. Yeah,
exactly.
But and I agree with you. It's not a competition. It's like, okay, listen, all right, this one my baby's doing this. So now, okay, what can I do to help out the family? And we just try to go like back and forth. And I think it's important because sometimes if both of you are like trying to do too much at one time, then who's going to be there to be the supporter? So it's important to have like a balance as well. Like, okay, right now I'm supporting you in your venture and what you're doing. Go forward and then vice versa. Okay, now I'm going to support you in your venture and what you're doing.
I agree.
Have that balance.
Yeah. And I mean, technology has also played a part in this modern day relationship. I think it's kind of separated us and isolated us even more. So it's probably a little bit more difficult to be motivated to even put yourself out there because you're just comfortable in your bubble. I think that plays a part in it. And I also think that people have different belief systems now. And we don't all believe the same things like we did, 50 years ago. I mean, we did an episode about, our different belief systems, and, that's not so far-fetched or unheard of anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't practice a certain, religion that says that the woman is supposed to be under the man and the woman's supposed to follow the man, and you have a lot of people who don't practice that type of religion or belief system, they're not going to be as inclined to, take on the traditional wife role, because that's not going to necessarily, fit into their belief system. So I think that's also a part of it too. Does that make sense?
It does. It does in a way. It does
Yeah.
make sense. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, how does this end? Will long-term romantic relationships become obsolete in the future, or will it still exist but be structured and look completely different?
It's still going to exist.
Okay.
Because we said that the title of this is One Better Than Two.
Yes.
And when you're able to join together with another person, there's strength in numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that the romantic relationship, how it looks, I mean, maybe how it looks will be a little bit different, but I do feel like people will continue to want to be with another person, just because just feeling that embrace, feeling that warmth, having that conversation, having that security of having another person. That's aside from your birth family, because essentially you don't get to choose your family, but you get to choose who you're in a relationship with. I know they say you can't who you fall in love with, but you kind of can. You can put some parameters around it. And so I think there's something that's very unique in that type of relationship, that it's not going to die. It's going to continue on, because it's something that you get to choose, and having that power over, this is the person that I chose to be in love with and that I chose to build a family and have a relationship with.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And I structured it for a reason. Is two still better than one, because I think we're realizing that just as human beings, like, relationships are just the foundation of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everything starts with a relationship.
Yes.
Like, when you are born, that relationship that you establish with your mother, or or in that relationship that you have with yourself, the relationship between God or the creator and creating everything, that's a relationship. Mm-hmm. So relationships are literally the foundation of everything. And mental health purposes, it's not good to not have anyone that you can talk to and go to. So that's why relationships are never going anywhere. Two will always be better than one. But I completely agree. It's going to look very different. And I think that the reason we're having so many conversations about relationships is because we're going through these growing pains of what it's going to look like. Like I said before, women now have a say-so. Like, it's not completely up to the man to decide what a marriage or relationship looks like. No, it's equal. Like, you can decide how you may want things to look like, but I have my vision too. That's what women are saying. And so we're seeing these growing pains take place. So I have a theory. You know how I am.
Oh. Okay.
I think in about, maybe even by the time, Jackson, is ready to get in a relationship, or, our grandkids for that matter, the long-term relationship tier system, I think that we will have the technology, and we can kind of figure out what tier of a long-term relationship do you need to fit in.
Okay.
Because not everybody wants to be in a monogamous, long-term committed marriage like we are.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's like kind of tier one. We are tier one.
Okay.
And
we're tier one.
To get to tier one, you have to, meet certain, criteria and qualifications. I met the criteria. And I think you have to be somebody that wants to be in a long-term committed relationship. And I think you have to have, equal values and, goals, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. Then I think the tiers kind of follow down the line.
I'm ready to hear about tier two.
So tier two would be someone who you want to be in a long-term committed relationship, but you necessarily may not want to be married or live with that person.
Okay.
Yes.
And then like tier three would be like, I'm just out here dating for the rest of my life.
We have an open relationship.
Oh, okay, Jada and Will.
Yeah. Oh, Jada and Will. But it's like, because there's something special about that long-term companion, that person that at the end of the day, I know I can count on that person, and that person can count on me.
Yes.
That is so extremely important. I think everybody wants that. So you may want that type of relationship, but you may not necessarily want to be like, you're the only person I can be with, and you can't be with anybody else but me. No, at the end of the day, we know that we're going to have each other's backs, and we're going to be committed a serious relationship for the long haul. So I think those are like the kind of tiers that you're going to start seeing people fall into.
I see the tiers now. Like like these tiers already exist. They're just not named.
I don't think.
Don't you?
Yeah,
Like,
it won't be as taboo.
Okay.
Yeah, it won't be as taboo.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that will be something that will be interesting to see how this goes. But I was thinking about that because not everybody wants to be married.
Yes.
And I know we did a podcast, Is Marriage for Everyone? And I know we kind of disagreed a little bit.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. But I mean, listen, yesterday's reality is not today's reality. I've grown from that. But I'm still
But you said you grown from that?
No. I'm still holding on to my beliefs that marriage is the best way, or not even marriage, getting into a serious romantic relationship is the best way to learn about yourself. Like there's certain things that you just cannot learn about yourself.
Yes.
If you don't have someone else to like reveal those things, to you. Yeah. So I'm still holding on to that, but it doesn't have to look like marriage anymore. It could look like something else. It could look like tier 3. It could look like tier 2. You're still gonna have a lot of people like us. Tier 1 is what we both wanted. Like I wanted to be in a long-term monogamous committed marriage, because I think it's just something special about being on that journey, together with someone. And I mean, call me crazy, but I do believe in soulmates and twin flames and twin souls. So I believe in all that stuff, and so that's just a part of my belief system. But I mean, I think it's gonna be interesting to see how this turns out.
How the tiered relationship system works out.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, no judgment. I mean, everybody, you have to do what's best for yourself.
Of course.
But I think it's just really interesting that we are having these conversations now. I don't remember a time, and maybe you do, that relationships and gender roles were so discussed.
No, I have to agree with you. It really is so prevalent right now about gender roles, like you just said, like gender roles and like relationships. And like I hear a lot of men talking about, oh, we're live. Oh well.
No, let's go for it.
When like I've been like maybe listening to like some podcasts and seeing things like on other like streaming platforms where men are talking about like women and like how they should act in relationships. And I'm just like,
it's embarrassing.
Like what gives you, you know what, we're live. Oh, well, what gives you that right to say this is how a woman should act when you're not a woman? And even as a woman, what gives me the right to say, oh, this is how a man should act when they're in a relationship? No, I don't. You don't have that right to say that because you're not walking in that specific type of person's shoes.
Exactly.
But what are your thoughts, Shaw? I mean, you're male.
I think men who bring up those talking points are quite frankly men who just struggle talking to women and understanding women.
And we are different.
Yes,
we are
different. But when you are a person that you're trying to tell women like how to act, think, and behave, those conversations, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Like men want things to go back to like the 50s.
It's too late.
You want women to be in the kitchen. You want women to listen to every word that you have to say and never question anything, regardless. And we're not in that time period anymore. And if you're a male that truly respects women and you look at a woman as a human being
and not as property.
And not as property.
Okay.
That's a lot of it comes to, like, men want women to be their property. They want things to go back to how it was. And it's just not going back that way. And I mean, the whole high value male, you know, those talking points. And if you're a male with confidence, and me and one of my good friends, shout out to Darrell again, man. I see you, Darrell Kervin. Shout out to me and when I'm gonna say his name, when Kevin Samuels first came out and he was making all of this, you know, buzz about the high value man and how, you know, a high value man, you know, can, if you make a certain amount of income, you can kind of do what you want to do, and, you know, and how women only want a man that has 6 figures and all this kind of stuff. And that's what a lot of women have. That's what a lot of men saying, that women are putting out these unrealistic expectations, and it's hard for them to find women because all women care about is money and being 6 feet and all this, like, just ridiculous stuff. And it's just, and not to offend anyone, this is like loser conversations. And like, I was telling, I think it was Steve. I was telling Steve, like, man, my whole life, even when I was 300 pounds, I've never met a woman who I felt like I couldn't pull. It had nothing to do with money. If you are that guy and you believe you are that guy, women are going to be attracted to that, because at the end of the day, women like confidence.
Yeah.
That's going to get you in the door.
Yeah.
Now you got to be about something, but if you have that confidence and they see that, okay, if he's confident enough to step to me and I am a strong, independent woman who makes this amount of money, I can get him to do anything.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. Confidence is everything.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
Yes.
You're right.
So guys, you don't have to have 6 figures. Having money helps. I like having money. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm a Henry. I mean, I'm almost there, but
and
yeah, but my confidence, like, I was gonna pull you no matter what. I would have pulled, even though you said I couldn't. I would have pulled you at 300 pounds. I would have. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Listen,
can I say? I'm not.
Okay, go ahead.
But I do have to say this: sitting here, 12 years from when we started dating as boyfriend and girlfriend, and almost 10 years to us being married, your thought process has changed so much. I really will have to say that, because I just remember, like, some of the stipulations that I had to check off. Like, and I'm not calling you out. No, I'm not calling you out. I just think it's great to see growth. And when you really get into relationships, you see how they really work. There were certain stipulations at a point where I had to check those boxes. You know that, you got to cook. You got to do this. You have to do that. And like, if I didn't check those boxes, then we weren't getting engaged, and vice versa. I had boxes that you had to check off. But then once you get into a relationship and you're kind of like serious about it, and like the more time you're together, you just realize you have to be flexible. Like, you can't be so hard-nosed on everything that you think it should go a certain way. Like, you realize, okay, I have to have some flexibility to my thought process, because, well, Joe does have a point in when he says something about X, Y, and Z. So flexibility is really important, and not just having a fixed mindset, but having a growth mindset to say, okay, I can change the way I thought about something in a relationship.
Yes, most definitely agree. Yeah, 2 is still definitely better than 1. I mean, I strongly encourage all of you all to not get caught up into these talking points that are coming from, quite frankly, people who, if I had to put on my psychology hat, and Kervin, you probably would agree with that, coming from people who probably have some things inside of themselves that they need to work on. They're probably speaking from a place of trauma, to where you have one bad experience with this mate, so you're applying it to all men. Like, because this man did me like this, all men are like that. And you can't have that type of mindset. Mm-hmm. We're all different. And you have to put yourself out there and realize that's how you grow. like, okay, it didn't work with this person. Like if I would have had that mindset, we never would have met because I was done dirty, you know, but I didn't say that all women are like this.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And you just, you grow, you learn, you take that experience, you learn from it, you grow from it. And, you know, the way I believe, like if you really do grow from it and learn from it, and when you are is getting prepared for the person that you're supposed to be with.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes, most definitely. So, man, this has been great. I apologize again for that little snafu. I don't know what's going on with that, but
I think we have to keep touching it so it doesn't like shut down.
Oh, okay. We're new to this, but I enjoyed the live. How did you feel doing this live?
Oh, it was great doing the live and like all the love and just people like actually coming and hanging out with us. It's so much fun. Like next time we can get a little bit better and we can like look at the chat. We can get some questions in as we're going about it and we can talk about it. And we can, you know, have a conversation about what they want to know about.
Yeah. So shout out to all the supporters. There's some great podcasts out there that you all need to check out. Of course, start with the Jonessa Podcast, Conversations from the Couch, but also just want to support some local podcasts. Speaking with Gravity, you know, Kervin Searles is our, you know, first
our podcast
brother, our couch cousin, a person we lean and depend on so much. And check out his podcast. He has a great podcast. I got now Minister Brian Jones. He was on our podcast last season. I was supposed to be helping him get his podcast launched. So that's something that's definitely on my to-do list. So be on the lookout for his podcast. And Steve, Steve Talbert. So, you know, I was on a venture with him and now he's going on and he's doing a podcast. So shout out to my brother, Steve, the Deep Surface Podcast, a great podcast. So these are just local, you know, I hate saying local, but just, you know, podcasts that are just great podcasts that good quality podcasts, down to earth people that you can kind of get something from. I mean, you know, it's okay for us to support each other. I mean, you can have your favorite celebrities and things like that, but you know, you have real tangible people who are doing amazing things. So I just want to give, you know, some shout outs to those people. And once again, just thank you all for supporting the Jonessa Podcast, our friends, our family. Like it means so much.
Our couch cousins.
Yes. Yeah. For like people to say all the time, when y'all getting started back.
Yeah. I'm a couch cousin. Like we'll see people out. I'm a couch cousin. We're like, oh, okay. So we're going to do it. I'm sorry. And we're so excited about this opportunity and this platform that we have to be able to share with you all.
We are. So thank you so much. We enjoyed you all so much. You will be hearing us consistently. I can't make the promise that we'll do live episodes all the time, but you will get more live episodes from us. This has been very fun. And, oh man, thank you so much. This is awesome.
Thank you.
It's so fun. Until next time, you have listened to the first live episode of the Jonessa Podcast.
Conversations from the Couch.
We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Hit the like button.